site. That's local polluted site, may be urban polluted site, or rural, or industrial, or agricultural, or solid waste, dumping yard, many things. Polluted site are polluted water body, polluted lake, agricultural, due to pesticides and fungicides. Anything we may take as a case study for field work. Human activities related to urbanization and industrialization modern agriculture has led to the large scale of pollution to the environment. Modern agricultural practices lead to pesticide pollution, waterlogging, salinity, everywhere. Then pollution occurs from variety of sources and affect different aspects, environmental aspects like air, water, soil, biodiversity of environment as well as human health. What are the main aims and objectives while you are visiting to the local polluted site as a field worker? Main is to study causes and effects of pollution at that site. Basic agenda main aim is to study causes and effects of pollution or pollutant at that site. What is the site? How you can mention the site? I mean, what are the methodologies you are used for identifying the various aspects regarding pollution? Here, site may be rural agricultural area or polluted water body or polluted industrial area, urban solid waste management site or urban dump yard, polluted industrial area. So whatever it may be, you can choose as per your interest and then nearby which is amicable to you. To easily go and then visit at the same time, you can see, you can observe what is happening going on that polluted area, that polluted site. What do you observe at that polluted site? So in the methodology, first you have to choose any one of the polluted area. This may be rural agricultural area or polluted water body or polluted industrial area, urban solid waste management site or polluted industrial area. So here what you are observing, solid waste or garbage dump or polluted water at a river or a lake or stream, gases, effluents or smoke coming out of an industrial area. So if you are choosing solid waste dump yard, which kind of solid waste is dumped on that garbage dump or dump yard? Or if you are choosing polluted lake, how much extent that water level will be polluted? Level is what that water is polluted, lake water is polluted, or river water is polluted. Or if you are choosing industrial area, which are the effluents, smoke or harmful gases or toxic elements are coming out from that industry. You have to observe. And then explore and assess reasons for the pollution. What are the reasons to this pollution? What are the reasons? So and so like that. Observe and document the components in the garbage or polluted or wherever it may be, industrial site. What are the components present on that garbage? If suppose you are a dump yard you are choosing, then on that garbage, which kind of materials, hospital waste material or homemade domestic waste material, that also which kind of materials are present, degradable or non-degradable, easily degradable or slowly degradable. You have to observe it. Suppose polluted water body is there, then any solid waste materials are dumped, I mean floating on that water, and then it is in discarded position, or what is the BOD, what is the COD of that particular water body, everything you have to observe. Then area and list the waste that is seen in the garbage dumping sites. Then categorize waste into three types. Degradable means easily decomposable with microorganisms within a week or within a 5 days or within a 3 days. Example: food waste, plant materials, discardable vegetables, animal carcasses. I mean animal fecal matter. Everything is the degradable. These are comes under the degradable. With degradable, it's not extent, it is not a problem, but it is a problem, it is a nearby living site. That is the problem. That, I mean, gases whenever degrading, smell is different. We may not, I mean, mossy places, mossy gases, and then especially methane also released from that dump yard. That is not suitable for living beings. Non-degradable plastics, glass materials like that, these are non, and then some amount of heavy metals from the industries also non-degradable. uh, Non-degradable materials, ever since they are like that only, they may not decomposed and then degraded, and then they will be appear like that only, even though some animals, buffaloes and then goats, cows, domestic cows, they can eat knowingly or unknowingly, it is harm to them also. Non-degradable. And then toxic waste, toxic chemicals from the industries, paints, sprays, all these are toxic. Heavy metals from different various industries. Uh, these are very harmful to the health of uh, that microbes, nearby domestic animals, as well as local community, local village, local residents. All these things you has to list it out. What are there? What is the effect of that? Everything. Then findings. What you are finding? What extent? What are the effects of that pollution? Suppose toxic chemicals are heavy metals, and then everything is exposed to that particular environment. What are the effects on the soil or air or everywhere? Who has to observe, who has to find out with different techniques, or otherwise we has to send that sample to concerned testing uh, I mean where's the, in which institution testing agencies are there, who has to send to find out exact amount of that particular materials. Then after finding, what actions? So if being a student, what can I do? You can think, but you can do many things. You can aware the local community like this happening continuously. After sometimes everybody health will be spoiled. Hence, we has to give the complaint to the pollution authorities. I mean, state pollution control board or central. I mean, if from that you may not get the response, and then prior to that, central pollution control board first it has to I mean, give the inputs to the local pollution control board for the district, to the district. After that, from the district to state. Like that, it has to give the idea. And then local people also aware. If that area is polluted by that local people, you has to aware that people, if we are doing like this, if we are throwing like this, all these materials, then you can after sometimes you can feel very bad. I mean, your health is affected, your environment is affected, and then after that, this impact will goes on to your future generations too. Hence, we has to avoid, we has to minimize, we has to reduce all such things like that. You has to explain remedies you has to give. With that, continuous monitoring of your local site, local polluted site, it may be degrade after some times. Even though if it will be peak in position, I mean, lot of impurities, I mean, lot of degradable and then non-degradable toxic waste materials are there. But thing is, if continuously monitoring and then continuously you are awareing that local people after such extent and then after some time it will be degraded easily. I mean, it will be decreased, reduced that pollution levels. And what are the general observations uh, you has to do? Which type of land or water used in the polluted area? Type of land is it may be useful land, or it may be from one of the particular person's land, or it may be government land, then whatever, forest land, who has to observe it. If suppose it is a water body, then on that water, how much extent water is polluted, up to what level water is polluting, what is its geographical characteristics, it may be soil, fauna, flora, whatever it may be, air, who uses that area, I mean that polluted area, I mean local, all local communities utilizing, or some slum people, only those who are in the platform and then slum areas, they only facing the problem. Like that you has to observe. At the same time, who owns it? That area is in particular private party or government party. If that area is that polluted site is some particular private party, we can give clearly. Even though government land, government area also, we can give clearly. We can give the notice to the clearly concerned authorities. In so and so area, this is lot of disturbances are there due to this polluted site. Hence, you has to each and everything you has to be aware the local people too. Uh, First, you has to observe, and then you has to take the. I mean, get suggestions from the hierarchy, or even and then after that you has to do, you has to observe, you has to give inputs to local community, then map the area to be studied. Up to what extent, I mean, you studied using GPS or RGS, RGIS, different softwares are there. You can Google or Google Earth, you can map that area, this so and so area we studied, and so on so village, and so on so mandal, like that. Identify what is being polluted. I mean, it's only air is polluting, or water, or soil, or all these air, water, soil, everything is polluting. You have to identify it. Then what are the causes of pollution and the polluting agents? Up to what extent it is polluted? You have to decide it. You have to observe it. Then assess the extent of pollution. Extent of pollution in the sense that pollution level is very severe in the sense majority of the people is affected to that pollution, or any particular symptoms are observing on that local community, or animal living beings, other living beings. Then that extent of pollution is severe, moderate, or slight. You have to uh, give the inputs. Severe in the sense major people are affected. major livestock are affected. Moderate, up to little bit, I mean 10 to 15% of the livestock, and then people, local community is affected. Slight in the sense it may not affect us like that. Then assess the literature. In that, the health associated with the pollution, pollutant, up to what extent that local people is health hazards are going on with that particular polluted site, you have to assess. So what is now present situation? So last 10 years back, what is the situation? 20 years back, what is the situation? If it will be continue like this, next 5 years, what is the situation? Then after 10 years, what is the situation? You have to assess the health associated issues. And local community as well as livestock, animals too, and then including plants, biodiversity, everything. If suppose with one particular toxic gas is released, I mean some of the small insects, small living beings may die, may not survive. With that, an entire ecosystem will be disturbed. With that particular, I mean maybe are some gases or some soil pollution, and then due to from producers to consumer, consumers to decomposers, everywhere that pollution may be affect. With that also, there is a lot of extent, there is a problem is there. Then interact with local residents about its effects on their livelihoods. What are the problems they are facing with that polluted site? If lake is polluted, what are the effects by utilizing that lake water? For domestic purpose or drinking purpose or agricultural purpose, whatever it may be, if they are using. Or local industrial site, what kind of effects they are observing? Any harmful gases or toxic elements are releasing through that industrial area. Everything you have to note it down. With this detailed report of the findings, you have to give. This is the local, I mean, polluted site you have to visit. Then effects, and their effects you have to list out every way. What are the methodologies, which kind of methodologies you are using? Observations is one kind. After observing and then calculation, assessment, monitoring is another thing. During assessment, if you have no sophisticated equipments, you have to send that samples to the concerned authorities, then has to analyze it. Or up to some extent you can do in your own lab. Own lab in the sense in your engineering chemistry lab. Up to some extent, BOD, COD, and then hardness, calcium, magnesium, like that elements you can find out. Heavy metals, you can send to the samples, particular areas, particular instrumentation, for particular instrumentation, to get up to what extent their pollution is there. I mean, what is the percentage up to, I mean, is it amicable? Threshold value is extended. With this, lot of problems may be there, and that local people, local livestock, everything you have to do in the methodology. The findings, each and everything you have to illustrate clearly. At the same time, you have to educate the local community how they can reduce the things, that pollutants. how they can overcome the problems from that polluted site. Education of the local community, aware, getting, I mean, awareness, giving awareness about that impact of the pollution on their livelihood is very, very important in your field work. In your field work. Hence, you has to give clear-cut idea about the industrial polluted site or agricultural polluted site. Even if you visited agricultural polluted site, you have to clearly aware the farmers. I think they thought if we can spray so and so pesticides or fungicides or synthetic fertilizers, giving synthetic fertilizers, they may get good yield. They are thinking, but with your knowledge, with your good knowledge, you has to aware, you has to educate that people, that local community. If you are spraying like this, there is a lot of health hazards, as well as soil also degraded, soil fertility also degraded. After sometimes, suppose first, I mean, you know the things, continuously pesticides and then uh, synthetic fertilizers they are giving to the one particular agricultural land. What will happen? First thing, due to fertilizers, up to some extent it is good, but continuously it is giving synthetic fertilizers only, soil will be degraded first. Even soil degraded, what will happen? They may not get good yield. Continuously they are spraying pesticides and fungicides. What will happen? So harmful virus and then bacteria will die. Along with that, I mean, which are useful microorganisms, useful insects to that particular crop also die. Pollination plays vital role in any agricultural field. If they are continuously spraying the uh, pesticides, where is the microbes, where is the bees, where is the small insects, small flies, how they can pollinate? If there is no pollination, how they can get the good yield? With that also yield will be less. And then continuously spraying, that those who having effect to the uh, who can affect the that particular agricultural land, that particular plant, microorganisms will can get the resistance too. They may not die after sometimes, even though how much, how many liters a farmer is spraying. That is also problem. Hence, farmer is facing lot of problems. All these things, you being a individual, being a student, being a you, being an environmental educator, you has to educate the people in positive direction. Many times farmers are feeling, I mean, if rains may not come properly, even though if rain come and then we show the fields, and then we may not get good yield due to several reasons. They are disappointed. But our culture is agriculture, but at the same time, without food and bread, we may not survive. Even though any living being may not survive, they are backbone to us. Farmers are backbone to the country, nation. You have to educate. Being a responsible social citizen of India, you can aware the people. You can educate the farmers. You can initiate the things first. That is the major role you has to do in the field work. Wherever you are going. In ecosystem, a local, if you are visiting the local ecosystem or whatever it may be, that is the importance of the this field work regarding environmental education and then regarding environment. Otherwise, nothing is there. Only simply you are studying, going on. Whenever you are taking much decisions regarding environment, much decisions regarding your future generations, and first of all, your life, sustainable life, you has to first you follow and then you educate the people during while interacting in the field work. So like this, I mean, uh, if you are educating your local areas, I mean, a student is like this doing, then where is the uneducation regarding environment? Why unsustainability is going on? Sustainability is going on. Sustainability will be enhanced